The Arkham Origins tapes. When we think of the Arkham interview tapes, we're used to what we saw or heard in Asylum and City, villains being formally interviewed by doctors or psychiatrists. But in Arkham Origins, there really aren't interviews at all. This time, they went with the name Extortion files instead of interview tapes. They're more like recorded conversations and personal transmissions rather than the traditional interview style recordings we're used to. And since these files are collected by Enigma through the data packs we have to hunt down in the game, the name actually fits pretty well. It's a completely different approach, one that could either be really interesting and add some great character depth, or feel totally forgettable depending on the tapes. The one thing that absolutely blew my mind when I first played this game was the lack of audio tapes for all the assassins. Was anyone else thrown off by that? It's especially strange considering the assassins are a major focus of the story for a huge portion of the game. Out of all the 8 assassins, we only get tapes for 2 of them. Instead, the game gives us recordings from Warden Joseph, Gordon, Alberto Falcone, and Commissioner Loeb, who you forget was even in this game since he died in the first 20 minutes. Like, really? Wouldn't you rather listen to Deathstroke, Deathshot, Copperhead, Firefly, heck, even the Electrocutioner instead? I know some of you might say maybe that's the point. It was to give more insight into these characters we don't know much about. And in most cases, I would agree. But the ones I listed, aside from Gordon, never actually show up in the other Arkham games. So it really feels like these tapes don't matter in the grand scheme of things. That said, I've been proven wrong before. It's been a while since I've listened to all of these, so maybe this time around I'll actually see the point they were going for. As for how I'm going through them, just like last time, I'm spinning a wheel and letting fate decide the order. I also gave each candidate a ridiculous nickname again, because apparently I physically cannot stop myself. Seriously, I have way too much fun with these. Since most of these characters barely have in-game footage or spoken lines, I decided to mix things up with unique B-roll that represents them instead of just looping the same clips over and over again. I figured you'd probably appreciate something more visually interesting while I share my thoughts, and just like last time, I'm gonna give my thoughts about each tape and say which one is my favorite at the very end. Without further ado, let's get to the wheel. Alright, first spin of the video. It can be anybody. We have 10 peeps up here. And let's see. Ooh, we're gonna start off strong with Gordon. Ooh, all right. Let's take a listen.
What happened to you?
A minor scuffle. Goes with the territory.
So, who was it this time? The crooks or your coworkers? Oh, right. They're one and the same.
I love how Barbara really sticks it to her dad. She doesn't hold back when calling out how broken and corrupt the system is. It's such a great character moment that really shows how sharp she is.
What are you doing at the station at this time of night? Do you know what this neighborhood is like?
Dad, I'm 15.
You should be at home.
I honestly figured Gordon brought her to the station for her own safety since there's a citywide curfew, but we're never told exactly when this recording takes place. My guess is either from a few days prior or maybe even the night before.
Yeah, well, there are some creepy-looking characters watching the house. I thought you should know.
Oh. Well, I'll get a police escort to take you home and check them out.
Actually, Dad, these guys are the police.
So it's come to that. Bastards.
Bruh, you're telling me she doesn't have a cell phone? When I was her age, I already had a flip phone for emergencies. By emergencies, I mean texting friends probably about Batman in this game. Maybe she's getting one for Christmas.
Dad?
Here, take this. It's a police radio. And here's a list of police channels. They don't know I know about the ones in red. They'll be using those to communicate.
I can't take this. If they find out, you'll lose your job.
They're already coming for me. We may as well keep one step ahead.
Kind of an interesting cliffhanger to leave us on, right? I actually like how you can hear how shaken and worried Gordon sounds in this tape. His tone is slow and almost desperate, but you can tell there's a storm of thoughts running through his head. It's not just worry for Barbara, but for himself too. There's clearly something bigger going on behind the scenes. Overall, a pretty decent little tape from Gordon and Barbara here. It's nice to actually getting to hear them interact, since that barely happens in the game, or honestly the whole series. I wish we got more of that, but that's kind of the running theme with a lot of these tapes, so you'll probably hear me say this again. Still, it's interesting. Gordon definitely hiding something, or at least knows more than he's letting on. A good bit of insight to see their perspectives. So with that, back to the wheel. All right, next spin. Let's see. It still can be anybody but Gordon. So, all right. Ooh, Anarchy next. All right, he snagged the win. Let's take a listen.
This is Gordon.
I know who you are.
Who is this?
I've seen your record. Impressive. In a city full of dirt, you're the only one with a clean jacket.
I need a trace started.
But despite a clean record, you're still just an instrument of oppression at the beck and call of your corporate masters.
Man, I'll be tracing every call that comes out of Gotham. You just know they deal with threats like this every day of the week.
I work for the city of Gotham, not some corporation.
Are you really so naive? The government is owned by corporate America. The city is owned by Bruce Wayne, and the mayor wouldn't wipe his ass without permission from people like Rupert Thorne. You're a cog in the machine, Gordon, and that machine is voracious. That machine must be stopped.
Ooh, a nice Rupert Thorne reference here. I like that. I actually had to look up what voracious meant since I personally didn't know. It means having a huge appetite or devouring a great quantities of food. But in this context, it's clearly about power. In the comics, Anarchy is described as a child genius, so him throwing around big words like this totally fits his character.
So you're doing me a favor of some kind?
That was such a great line read. He already sounds completely fed up. Honestly, Michael Goth doesn't get nearly enough credit for this role. Next thing you know, he's gonna say,
"By my right as Jarl, I name you Thane of Whiterun."
That's right. I'm here to help the misguided. Despite your chosen profession, your record suggests you could be reformed. So a warning. Get out, Gordon. Get out while you can.
Hello? Hello? Did we get the trace? Encrypted? Son of a...
ooh, I like how Anarchy suddenly tells him to get out since he's planting bombs all over the station. You can tell this happened on the same night. And cutting the tape right before he drops a cuss word. Classic.
You want to eat, don't you?
Yeah, but...
Listen, I got you on possession, B&E, trespassing. Hell, I got you on loitering. So, what's it gonna be?
All right. What do I gotta do?
Simple. You get them riled up, you know? You blend in, you make suggestions. Hey, there's a fat cat, let's roll his car. Hey, let's burn that building down. Those corporate bastards put us out in the street. And if you have to, you kick in the first window. You throw the first Molotov.
But that's what they're gonna do anyway.
Yeah, so they say. But talk is cheap. No one wants to be the first one to do it. That's where you come in.
Ain't burning down a building gonna get me in more trouble than I'm already in?
Ding ding, we have a winner.
Well, yeah. Well, that's what you got me for. I'm on your side, friend. You get them started, and then you get the hell out of there before us boys in blue start cracking heads. I'll make sure the heat doesn't come down on you. So long as you don't get yourself caught.
I don't know about this.
Look, this prick, Anarchy or whatever, he ain't got your best interests in mind, right? He's got his own agenda, and he's just using you like he's using everybody else. You bring him out in the open, we bring him down, and everybody has a Merry Christmas. So, we got a deal?
Yeah, deal.
Yeah, you made the right choice. Now, will that be light or dark me?
Interesting. I kind of wish this was Brandon talking here instead of this random cop. It would have fit his character perfectly since he's already a pretty corrupt officer. And if this hobo was the guy we met back in the police station, it would have made this whole tape feel a lot stronger and less out of place. Honestly, this feels like it should have been part of Brandon's tapes, not Anarchy's. But hey, what are you gonna do? I honestly really like this first one from Anarchy. We get a glimpse of humanity from when he warns Gordon here. I just wish we get a bit more and maybe overhearing how he managed to plant all the bombs and pulls it off in one night. Like seriously, where did he even get those from? Wishful thinking. I know that the second one isn't terrible, just kind of random, personally. But anyway, let's get back to the wheel. All right, 8 left. Spin, and let's see. Oh, the Falcones are up to bat. All right, let's take a listen.
Yes?
Not exactly a great way to start a tape.
Mr. Falcone, this is Dr. Strange's office calling.
Right, sorry. I missed my last appointment. I had to...
Actually, you missed your last 2 appointments.
Hoo-hoo, I really like the Hugo Strange name drop here. And it gets even better when Dr. Harley Quinzel calls him about the appointment. Nice little connection there.
Right. Look, I appreciate the doctor's concern, but I have it under control now. There's no need for any further treatment.
I'm afraid Dr. Strange doesn't feel the same way, Alberto. We would hate to take unnecessary chances when we've come so far.
Listen, I'm not one of Strange's test subjects to be poked and prodded. Have you forgotten who I am? Who my father is?
Ugh, so cringy when people pull that card. Do you know who I am? Do you know who my father is? Like, yes, everyone does, but no one cares.
I believe your father would be most concerned that his son could be suffering from untreated psychological issues.
Is that a threat?
So, we'll expect you at the regular time next week?
I love it. That sassy Harley clapback is just chef's kiss, man.
Hello, who is this?
A friend of the family.
Total nitpick here, but I wish we heard a phone ring or something to show that they're actually on a call. Cause right now it feels like Black Mask just walked in like, what's good? They handle this way better in Arkham Knight. Like an example is when Riddler calls Catwoman on the second tape. It actually sounds like they're on the phone and having a conversation. It feels way more realistic than whatever this is.
Sionis, what do you want?
Just a social call. Reaching out to the community, you might say.
Go on.
Your father and I did not always see eye to eye, but we had much in common.
Ooh, I love this cocky tone Sionis has in his voice. Dude sounds like he's got the perfect hand and he knows it. Just waiting to call the game.
Common interests, common traditions.
I can't really speak for my father or the family.
That's not how you made it sound at Cuccinota the other night.
How did you know I was...
Relax, Alberto. There's nothing like good food and wine to loosen a tongue, am I right? But next time you want to discuss your future, do it somewhere more private. And I own just the place.
Damn, I wish we got more tapes of Sionis. Honestly, they build him up so well. It sucks they just kick him aside like that. And that perfect place he mentions could totally be the Iceberg Lounge. That would have been a cool tie-in to the awkward relationship between Black Mask and Penguin.
Hello, Sionis.
That's not terrifying.
Who the hell is this? What time is it?
Ooh, that's a great line read. The quick yawn when he says, "Who is this?" perfectly sells that he just woke up. It's one of those tiny details that's super easy to miss if you don't listen carefully.
Time to get your affairs in order, Roman. There is a change in the air, and the wolves descend on Gotham.
Listen, you little piece of crap. I don't know who you are or who you work for.
I answer to a higher power than you. I am a higher power than you. And one day soon, you will have much to answer for.
Nobody speaks to me.
Damn it! They just love ending on cliffhangers right when the tape starts to get interesting. It sucks because these are honestly some of my favorites in the game. I love the nod to Strange and the hint that Alberto is suffering from some identity disorder. I really wish they made these tapes longer. It would have been great setup for the eventual holiday killer's split personality from the Long Halloween. And since we know that storyline is canon in the Arkhamverse, Alfred mentions it in Arkham Knight. It would have tied everything together perfectly. But, oh well. I guess we're moving on to the next tape. All right, next spin. Let's see. So it can be a lot of these people. Oh, the Penguin. I honestly forgot who that was for a split second. All right, let's take a listen.
Hiya, boss.
Candy, what a treat. Where you been, love?
Oh yeah, I totally forgot his chicks were even in this game.
Gone fishing, remember?
Ah, yes. You catch anything interesting?
Just a nibble. That Roman's a slippery one. But he does have a new hobby.
This honestly sounds like an opening to a really bad adult film.
Oh?
Collecting masks. Ain't that a hoot?
Now what would Roman want with that law, I wonder?
I mean, it's literally in his name. Black Mask. The guy likes mask. Not really rocket science, but sure, let's just prove again the penguins are some of the dumbest birds on the planet. Now that I think about it, it could be Joker collecting clown mask for his crew, and that would make more sense, but I feel like they would say something along the lines with it's being a clown mask or his original black mask. I don't know. Bottom line is, the writing was kind of clunky here.
I think it's time to break out some of our new hardware. We need to keep an eye on our friend Black Mask.
Nice little callback to the drone from the beginning of the game, the one Batman immediately recognized as Penguin.
Yeah, that you?
Yeah, it's me. What is it?
I got, information. Your boss. We got him at the scene of the crime.
What scene?
Lacey Towers.
He didn't do it.
Oh, no?
Should I repeat myself?
At least these tapes do a great job calling back to earlier parts of the game. It helps tie everything together and makes the story feel a bit more cohesive, like it's all coming full circle.
We got him at the scene. Understand? Direct evidence of murder. Cobblepot ain't gonna be able to slip this one. Brandon says we're gonna have to bring him in.
I told you, he didn't do it.
That don't matter. All that matters is the evidence.
Now, if that evidence should happen to disappear...
Ah, I see.
Well, it is Christmas. And with Loeb gone, I gotta look out for my future.
All right. It'll be in the usual place. Just don't wait too long. Wouldn't want your cash to get soggy in all this snow. And make sure Brandon gets his cut. I don't want that son of a bitch coming back at me.
Hey, always glad to help.
It's kind of weird they didn't make Loose Lips the one talking here to the cop, since we already know he works for Penguin. Instead, we get this random name Criminal. Feels like a missed opportunity.
So what do you got?
A bunch of heavy hitters. A couple I've identified as potential customers.
These really their names?
Aliases.
Deathstroke. What's that guy into?
Guns, flashbangs. Deadshot, too. Sniper by trade. He's good for ammo.
Whoa, who is this chick? Copperhead. She's wearing nothing but ink.
Yeah, I don't know about her. Firefly neither. Not for weapons, at least. Maybe for, other materials.
I actually kind of love these two just chatting about the assassins. It's weirdly fun to listen to. And that pause when he's trying to come up with a word, when he says materials. Perfect delivery.
But this Bane guy, if you got the stomach for it, he's got a whole gang with him. That's your big sale right there. Assuming he don't just rip your arms out for fun.
All right, so how does this work with Loeb out of the picture?
Can't use the normal channels. This Gordon's a regular Boy Scout.
Oh, yeah? Maybe we can help you with that.
Wow, no cliffhanger for this one? It actually ends on a decent note for a change? Kidding aside, I think these were a bit more entertaining overall. I just find it really weird that these tapes are supposed to be about a person's profile, yet half of the time it's just some random cops and criminals talking. Honestly, I feel like this would have worked better if they had a separate profile full of miscellaneous tapes, and left it up to the player to piece together who or what they were referring to. But overall, not bad. Back to the wheel. All right, halfway done already. Let's see who is next. All right, I like this one. The guy who should have called in sick. Good old Warden Joseph. Let's take a listen.
You wanted to see me, Warden?
Yes, I need you to reevaluate Julian Day.
Oh, didn't you see? I turned in my evaluation last week.
I saw it, and I need you to do it again.
Ooh, I love how quick and snappy the Warden talks here. Really shows that he does not give two Fs at this point.
I'm not sure that...
You have to understand, Day is a manipulator, a very experienced one, and you, well, you're still in your residency.
I don't see anyone doubting that Mr. Day is insane and should be tried as such. I'm actually considering writing a paper about him.
Miss Quinzel, I'm giving you a chance here. Do you know what happens if the prosecution can try Day as a sane man?
He'll get the death penalty.
And the city will thank you for helping to remove a cold-blooded killer from its streets.
Wow, you can actually hear the smile in that voice when he says, from the streets. Kari Payton is an insanely good voice actor. I can't wait to see his performance in Arkham Shadow.
So, we're not here to help rehabilitate the sick?
This is a prison, Miss Quinzel, not a mental health clinic. If you want to see a successful end to your residency, I suggest you keep that in mind and reevaluate Julian Day.
I see. Perhaps I was a bit hasty with my evaluation.
Excellent. I'm glad we could...
In fact, I think it would be excellent experience if I was the first to give all new inmates psychological evaluations.
You're not a doctor yet. That's not your...
Like you said, I need more experience with these manipulators. Perhaps more exposure to these types of criminals will help me learn to tell the difference between the fakers and the truly insane.
Why would you want to spend any more time with these freaks than you have to?
The criminal mind is a fascinating subject for a research paper or a book.
There's no skin off my back. Knock yourself out.
Ooh, I love how Harley claps back at him here. She's on fire and knows exactly how to put people in her place. When she says manipulators, she's clearly talking about the Warden here. Just great writing and even better voice delivery. And then the Warden not caring at the end, just perfect. All right, these tapes are kind of growing on me a little now.
A killer is a killer is a killer. You think it matters to the victim or their families if he claims that he's insane? No, I'm not making special exceptions for all of these freaks that seem to be popping up. This one was trying to play the system just like the rest of them. Feigned insanity is no defense in my courtroom.
You don't think it's a little blatant? I mean, with his obsession for the holidays.
In this city, they'll love it. Poetic justice, I say.
All right. Well, Christmas Eve it is then.
Excellent. I'm throwing a little Christmas party that night. We're going to watch the execution from my home. You should come by. Bring your wife. Pick up your gift.
I'll do that. And make sure you have something for my wife, too. She likes diamonds.
And they told me you were soft.
Diamonds are a girl's best friend after all. Even though it's super quick, I love how we get to hear a bit of Judge Harkness. He was mentioned at the beginning when they were about to execute Julian Day. It's pretty wild since he's clearly a bit of a sadist, saying that he's planned to show Calendar Man's execution at his Christmas party, which is just messed up. And the fact the warden agrees to it? That's next level dark. I gotta say, this one was a bit of a surprise for me. I only vaguely remember the warden's tapes, so re-listening to them was a wild ride. Even if they don't really go anywhere, they still add some great lore to the Arkham games. Alright, let's roll the wheel again. Officially halfway done now. Last time I miscalculated the numbers. Alright. Ooh, alright. Shiva's up to the bat. Let's take a listen.
Answer my question. Why are you here?
Well, do I have to say why? You smooth talker.
Same as you, of course. Money, glory.
Well, you told Batman the money was just a consolation prize, and you don't really seem interested in glory either, judging by your motives during the mission. Bane's not really in for those things either, so it kind of makes Shiva seem like she doesn't fully understand everything that's going on, which is actually pretty interesting to see.
Don't play games with me.
But you can play the cunning brute?
Hell yeah, he can, with a voice like that.
I know of your reliance on Venom, and your desire to eliminate it.
How do you...
When you've lived as long as the Master has, you can gather a great deal of knowledge.
You're working for him. What is he planning?
You know better than to question his motives.
Can I question the writers for a second? Seriously, who wrote these tapes? I need to know where this conversation was supposed to be going. It sounded so interesting, and we're finally getting a bit of more insight into Shiva, a character we barely know anything about in this game. And how does she even know about Bane's venom addiction? Once again, they bring up Ra's al Ghul and then it goes nowhere. Such an odd writing choice, and honestly, kind of a wasted opportunity.
I'm simply saying that my master shares your hatred of criminals.
Listen, I'm not sure who you are or what you want, but I don't appreciate you meddling in my business.
Going back to what I said earlier, I really wish there was something to indicate whether they're on the phone or not, because I honestly can't tell. I'm assuming they're talking in person, but it's not really clear in this scene, and it makes it feel kind of awkward.
We are hardly meddling. My master is simply offering you assistance. An opportunity you yourself say you desire.
What makes him so sure he can do it?
Well, it certainly won't happen overnight. There are steps we must take.
Strings. I knew it.
You say you want to be mayor, that you want to purge the city of criminals. Then taking this position is hardly a string.
So what did you say this facility was called?
Arkham Asylum.
Nice way to tie in Quincy Sharp and how he eventually became the warden of Arkham Asylum. I just really wish we got to know more, like why they target him because of it. I know I'm starting to sound like a broken record here, but it really sucks that these tapes aren't longer. They just don't have the same passion or thoughtfulness like City or Asylum did. They honestly feel a bit rushed, like an afterthought, which double stings since this is arguably the best written game in the series. Maybe all the great writers were forced on the main story and the not so great ones got tossed into the side missions and tapes? I'm not trying to put anyone down, I'm sure they did their best and I'm not trying to be mean or anything whatsoever. I just wish there was a bit more thoughtfulness in these tapes because I think the passion is there, it's just they needed a bigger push. Anyway, back to the wheel. Alright, 4 left. It's down to the wire. Alright, ooh. The love of my life. Let's get into it.
It is said that which does not kill you makes you stronger. But that which makes you stronger can often kill you. Addiction is a weakness, one that must be overcome. Venom has become my addiction, my weakness.
That's honestly such a true statement. Addiction really is a weakness. People crave that feeling and will do almost anything to get it back. I'm really grateful that I've never been addicted to anything like drugs or alcohol, but I've seen it happen to people around me my whole life. So it's kind of blows my mind how truthful Bane is being here. It really hits harder when you think about it in that way.
To free myself, I have tried many things. For a time, I sought to eradicate Venom and wipe those who manufacture it from the face of the earth. But lately I've gravitated towards Project TN1, a replacement drug which would eliminate Venom's addictive properties and holds the promise of a permanent effect. If it works, I would no longer have need of the delivery system. Another weakness.
One thing I want to point out, Bane's voice here sounds a bit different, almost like they added some kind of effect to it. Ironically, during the game over scene when he's on TN1, it has the same effect.
First I broke your spirit. Now I break your back.
So to me, it sounds like while recording this entry, he might already be using a small dose of it. And it's a really subtle detail that I think most people wouldn't even notice nor think about. But it's such a great touch.
While early tests had to be terminated immediately, the latest subjects seem at least physically stable. But side effects are severe. Immediate and permanent long-term memory loss, followed by a general degradation of brain function that leaves the subject primitive.
Holy shit, this voice acting from JB Ballack is amazing. You can actually hear a bit of sadness when he says primitive. Like he knows deep down how dangerous this stuff is. I absolutely love his performance here. I'm seriously praying he returns for the Nightfall movies they're making.
Testing continues. The latest formula shows promise. Once I've eliminated the bat, I will dedicate myself to finding a suitable volunteer for my tests. End of recording.
I might be biased because I love this man, but this is an amazing tape. It's the only one in the game where we hear just a single person talking to themselves, and you can really hear the vulnerability in his voice. You can tell how serious he wants to fight his venom addiction and the lengths he's willing to go to overcome it. Really powerful stuff, and honestly, some of the best writing in the whole set. Definitely one of my favorites in this game. Back to the wheel. Down to the last 3 already? Gosh, time flies. All right. Human corruption DLC. All right, let's get into it, Commissioner Loeb.
Gordon, he's so clean.
Well, that is what happens when you actually shower each day, Commissioner Loeb.
I sometimes think he does it just to lord his integrity over the rest of us.
Easy, Gillian.
I'm telling you, Roman, it's time we took Gordon off the payroll. Permanently.
That's enough, Gil. A cop like Gordon is good PR for the PD. We get him under control, and he could be even more useful to us.
Control? It will be easier to send my men to beat some sense into him.
Like Detective Flass, that approach has already failed.
Ooh, that would be Arnold Flass, and just like Brandon, he also appears in Batman Year One, which was a major influence for Arkham Origins. Really nice touch to throw his name in there.
Find a way to put a collar on the man, and it'll be that much easier to tighten the leash.
And how do I do that?
Not my problem, Gillian. That's what I pay you for. Gordon is a man of principles. Work on those.
I love getting to hear the business side of Sionis. It reminds me of that back and forth he has with Batman during his side mission. There's just so much character packed into these few lines here, and I wish there was more.
What do you want me to do, become his confidant? Gordon trusts me about as far as he could throw me.
So, not very far at all.
Loeb was quick on that one. At least he's got a sense of humor.
Yeah, I get it. I'm a big guy.
You're a fat slob who needs to start earning his keep. Now, men like Gordon have a weakness for a certain type of woman. They call it the Lancelot syndrome or some such crap.
I legit looked that up to see if it was a real thing, and ironically, Urban Dictionary actually has it. Apparently, it's when a guy's only interest is in girls who already has boyfriends. I thought that was pretty funny, but I think what Loeb was actually trying to say with the Lancelot reference is that the one of the greatest knights of the Round Table who had an affair with King Arthur's wife. So I guess I can kind of see what he was going with, maybe?
What are we talking about here? You want me to set up a honeypot?
I'll leave the details to you. Find me some dirt. And try not to make a mess of it.
So if you remember back in Arkham City, there was a code word the team had to use in the museum. Sarah. That's actually a reference to Sarah Essen, Gordon's former lover from Batman Year One. Here, we see Commissioner Loeb plan to expose a relationship and having Harvey Bullock spy on both of them. Once again, a really nice tie-in detail to the Year One comics.
What do you want me to do? Hold your hand?
This bad guy's got some of my men really spooked. Some of them are even calling in sick.
Then fire their asses. I don't have time for fence-sitters. Soon I'll have all of City Hall in my pocket, and I'm not about to lose it over some cold feet.
So what should I do about it?
Cement shoes? You figure it out.
Commissioner Loeb,
Yes?
Warden Joseph on the line.
Cement shoes? The hell does that even mean? I don't think even Loeb knows either. I get that Brandon said cold feet, so he's playing off of that and looking cool, but what does exactly this metaphor mean? I really want to know. So these tapes aren't terrible, but once again, nothing really special either. I mean, it's kind of cool to hear more of Loeb, I guess, and see how he really treats people. And yeah, no one's exactly mourning him, but it feels pretty pointless since he dies within the first 20 minutes of the game. So yeah, it's just kind of whatever set of tapes. Alright, let's do our final spin for the video. Alright, last spin of the tapes. Let's see, it's either gonna be Brandon or Joker. And let's, oh, Brandon won the skin of his teeth. Alright. I just realized Joker's the last one in all my videos. Oh, weird. Okay, let's get into it.
Run that past me again.
It's very simple, Brandon. Sometime in the coming days, you may receive a call from a third party requiring your services.
Like a private contractor?
Precisely.
Okay, why?
Let's call it an investment against future favors.
And how am I supposed to know the guy?
He will identify himself with the code word facade.
What is that? French?
It doesn't matter.
I kind of like hearing Brandon be curious about something. It shows that there might be a bit of personality and character in there somewhere. I don't know, it just made me smile.
What's important is that you remember it.
All right, facade. Got it.
Kind of funny that the code word is facade since it could apply to almost everyone in Gotham. But here it's for Black Mask, who ironically literally wears a mask.
So what's all this gear for, Brandon? I mean, I should know why I'm putting my job on the line.
You sure those cameras are off?
Relax. Everything's shut down for routine maintenance.
He said cameras, not audio recordings. So technically he's not lying here.
So?
All right, but keep it under your hat. Lowe's planning on setting up a special unit. With me as leader, of course.
So, why steal the gear?
We're not stealing, we're borrowing. That way we don't need to deal with a lot of red tape when we gotta mobilize.
I get it. Off the books kind of thing. Need any guns?
Nah, we got that covered. Believe me. Hey, if you want to see some action, I can put in a good word.
You kidding? I busted my ass to get this desk job. I'll leave the cowboy stuff to you. You're good at that.
Suit yourself. But remember, if you're not with us, keep your damn mouth shut.
I kind of want to know who this random civilian guy is. I wonder if he's the mole that tipped off Gordon about the radio stations that he's not supposed to know. Maybe, maybe not, but it's interesting. And the way he's kissing Brandon's ass, yeah, I bet this was the guy who tipped off Gordon now I think about it. Out of all the tapes, I think I would have wanted Brandon's to be longer. He's kind of a background villain we hear a lot about in this game, and he's acted really well. By the end, you actually know who he is, unlike the Warden or Loeb. Overall, they're just alright. I wish we got more, but as I've been saying, we don't. Alright, let's head over to the last tapes. The Clown Prince of Crime.
You know I murdered your commissioner tonight, right?
Who the hell starts a conversation like that? I just sat down.
So what makes you think I give two fucks what some dumbass dirty cop's gotta say?
I got it from reliable sources. Penguin is making a move on Falcone territory. The Falcones got no idea what's coming.
And this concerns me because...
You don't care if Penguin takes over their racket?
Why should I?
I don't know. I mean, there's a balance right now, and you're at the top. But one of these other types starts making too much money, you know, and that balance will...
I really like the voice acting of the cop here. You can tell he's clearly afraid of talking to Black Mask. His hesitation and line delivery are really solid.
You know what I know? What I know is that I don't like balance. Balance is boring, and boring is a four-letter word in my book. No, balance. Balance is what's wrong with this city. We need to upset the balance, kick it over, light it on fire, and then see what comes scurrying out.
As Joker once said, some people just want to watch the world burn. That line fits him perfectly here, especially when he keeps rambling on about using the word balance. It really drives home the idea that certain individuals aren't motivated by logic, money, or power, but pure chaos and destruction.
Boss?
It's my turn to play on the Xbox.
Huh? Oh, right, that's me. Are you feeling okay? Never better.
I really like how we get to hear Joker trying to play Roman. You can tell he's caught off guard by being called boss. But he plays it off perfectly. Really nice touch.
I've got a new lease on life. Granted, it came with some added mileage, but beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah, well, anyway, you know, it's the first Thursday of the month, right?
So it is. Good job. Observation and initiative are the keys to advancement. I have my eye on you.
I kind of wish we could see this goon's face here. He's probably looking at him like, the frick? Just pure confused.
It's just that normally you have me drop off the commissioner's commission every month.
The pause was amazing. The way he says commissioner, then commission. Yeah, like in the moment, he's like, yeah, that's what it's called. And he's like agreeing with himself mid-sentence. Just beautiful.
Well, of course I knew that. But I'm rethinking our arrangement with my good friend, the commissioner.
Okay. You're the boss?
That's right. I am.
Not a bad way to end the tapes. It's kind of fun hearing Joker try to blend in as Black Mask. It's entertaining at the very least. I'll admit, they were a bit more entertaining than I remembered, but I still can't help feeling like they were rushed as hell. They're so short and most of them don't really go anywhere. Like I said, Bane's is definitely my favorite, but I actually really enjoyed Warden's tapes and Falcone as well. There are a few decent hidden gems in here, even if they're buried under some missed potential. Like I said in the beginning, I think this game really would have benefited from giving the assassins their own tapes. Imagine each one had an interview explaining why they want to be part of the hit on Batman. That would have been amazing. It would add so much depth and been really fun to hear, especially since we never actually find out why Joker chose them in the first place. But for what they are in the game, they're not terrible, but nothing too special. I personally think these are the weakest tapes in the whole Arkham series, if I'm gonna be honest with you. Kind of like the side missions, there's a few decent ones sprinkled in, but most of them end up feeling like a whole lot of nothing by the end of the day. Still, at least the DLC makes up for it, and I've been dying to finally play that. What's your favorite tapes in Arkham Origins? Let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you want to stay more involved with the community, I post regularly on the community tab about news on Batman media, fun polls, behind the scenes, and so much more. So make sure you click that ding 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 dong on the bell notification so you don't miss out. Also, why not subscribe and join our Bat family? Us nerds need to stick together. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Stay tuned.